Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Betharn, and this is Starship Theory. This is episode 3 of our Let's Play series, and right at the end of cutting out that video, this little friend of ours showed up. And since I'm still paused, I have no idea if he's going to attack us or not. If he attacks us, we're screwed. Yeah, let's see. They're powering up their weapons. Okay. Very bad. Alright, so what we need to do is bribe them, because they have a plasma cannon and a laser cannon, and we don't have the ability to jump yet. So if I didn't use that, I need 11 more metals back to build this thing. We don't really have great access to that, so I'm going to go ahead and just bribe them, because we could get wrecked if that's the case. And we're already way behind on money, so it's going to be a while before we can get a 5th crewman. But I'd rather not get my ship torn to shreds and probably kill us. And we're about to hit an asteroid field, so we'll get some. We want to get this metal is the first thing. We have tons of silica in this game and freaking gold. So it would be nice if I could sell that gold in that water to get a bunch of money so we can get some more crewmen. I need to slow it down. Right, let's melt some more rocks. So once we get that engine built, here we go, some metal. Once we get that engine built, we'll have +3, and then we can also increase our evasion even beyond that. But one thing I do like to have, one good defense, is not even jumping, but having a high engine power anyway, base-wise. Because you can evade a lot of the enemy shots, so you can just kind of dodge their attacks and endure their assault until they just lose interest and fly away. Just like we did with the little guy, but when there's something even more dangerous like that guy that was on us, we might have been okay. All he has is a plasma cannon and a laser cannon. The plasma cannon can do quite a bit of damage. You see, we're doing a lot of damage to these rocks with these 3 lasers. Right. So this is a lot of the game. Some people are not going to like it. I love this kind of game. This is kind of one of my dream Starship games, because I love designing ships like this and having resource constraints and stuff like that. It's just fun to me. And most of the game is spent mining, which I enjoy. Oh wow, you're kidding me, right? Okay, at least that's the one great thing about when you're building something, it doesn't use your resources until it's completed. So if you're working on something and then it gets hit and destroyed, you don't lose your components, which is probably going to change at some point. As honestly, it probably should use your resources as you build it, so if it does get destroyed, you lose it, which is kind of a thing, especially when you're fighting a lot, because if you keep rebuilding stuff and they blow it up, then you don't have the, then you can like lose the resources and whatnot. Alright, so there's some more silicon. So we're building this guy. That's only half of our metal and about a quarter of our silicon. So we have plenty more stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and build some more hull plates here. We're going to need more power. So we'll go ahead and throw down another power strip here. And then I'm going to throw down another CPU panel just so we're ahead on that. And get our guys to work here. Okay, so our operations went up and I forgot to change it. So we're going to go back to engineering. We're going to go to our operations. We're going to buy the mining console. We're going to go ahead and set course to another asteroid field. And so we can mine again. And then I think after that, what we'll do is we'll focus on weapons. We'll get maybe 3 or 4 laser cannons on this bad boy. And then we'll set course to some signatures so we can try out like trading and see how that works. See if they're like often aggressive or not. And see if we can do some trading and get some more crew members. So we have plenty of water as long as our water cooler doesn't burn down. Alright, so as soon as these are built, we can floor out these 2 tiles, and then we can put our mining console right there next to the navigational console. The other thing we can do is throw a chair here to increase morale if there's a guy sitting there. And then we'll throw some floors here. We can actually do more floors here too, I think. We'll just do all these floors. And then what other consoles are there? That maybe sensor console, heat, armor console. I haven't actually looked into a lot of these. I just seen them, like the heat console. Seen them. Heat console increases and it goes off intelligence. So you use your intelligence for that. Increases armor recharge. Shield console. Ooh, weapons console might be good. Increases accuracy by combat skill. But I think next, actually, I shouldn't actually be. I never really know what to do after this. Because you can do, the small reactor is nice to get because it allows you to start putting power comparable to your medium solar panels inside of your ship. The problem is it costs gold, and the medium solar panels do not. It also costs twice as much metal, but it's half the size, but it does go on the floor. So it's kind of just gives you more options. So I think instead of doing that, we're going to go ahead and get, I'm going to go ahead and grab utility and go for the medium. No. Let's go ahead and get ops. I wonder, I've never actually played with any of these. So the weapons console sounds good for when you have to fight. You can more accurately hit things. We could get, I'm thinking the medium plant bed would be the smartest thing to get so we can start getting food so we can even trade it. So I'm going to go ahead and just do utility. If not, we can get the larger storage crate. So we don't have to worry even less about storage. Right. They're not hostile. So let's get that. Okay, so we got what we could. So I could buy a crewman if I had the money, which I don't. I'm going to sell that gold for sure. I'm definitely not buying water, and I'm not going to buy food because we can generate our own food. So that's all I need from this guy. So we're about to run out of metal with all that going on over there. That'll give us a lot of breathing room for interior space at the moment. What you want to do at some point, but it takes a long time because you need a ton of metal to make a ship large enough, is get actual quarters for your people with beds and mess hall set up for your crew so they can actually sit while they eat. But that takes a ton of space, especially if you start using a larger, it's like here, it's the season furniture, large table, so 2x2, medium tables, 2x1. Captain's chair might be something worth building. Provides speed, morale, and energy bonuses. Speed, actually, I've never built a captain's chair. So we could plan on that, even. I'm thinking of, like to remodel the front of the ship. That's why I want to move the water cooler. Because you can walk on that ship core, so I like to make a passage there. And then my goal is to eventually have the engine room around the ship core back here, and then move maybe towards the front of the ship, have some kind of neck, maybe with the command consoles all down the side of it, and then in the cockpit bridge thing have just the captain's chair sitting up there by itself kind of thing. And then on the left have some wings coming out of the ship that have like the quarters, the crew quarters, and the the mess hall and all that fun stuff. Alright, so we're through that. Let's go ahead and spend some resources here. We're going to go to our ops, and we're going to get the mining console established. We're going to... How's our... Yeah, we have +3, so this is based off your mass, -5 from mass. So basically, the bigger you build your ship, words are hard, the more engines you need, obviously, to kind of maneuver the ship around. So I'm going to go ahead and build this out. And I'm going to go ahead and build it like this. And that is 41 of our metal. That's way too much. Alright, so I actually don't have a solid plan from this point, honestly, because we got lots of power and CPU. So what we should get, like I said, weapons. So let's find some weapon hard points here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to build this up and this up, and that'll take 25 of our metal. Take down these. Oops. I hate this thing. Alright, cool. So let's just build those up. And then we'll put our guns right here next to these heat vents. We'll put two on this hog. We should have maybe just enough metal to do that. Let's actually pull out a couple of hull plates here. Since we're not expanding the interior of the ship, we don't need to armor it as much. It'd be nice when I get my second engine. I hate asymmetry like this. It bothers me. You can do some cool asymmetrical builds, obviously, but I like mirroring that. And I think eventually I'll kind of build out and I'll kind of turn, this will be a big room here, and then I think we'll have some like engine pods out and we'll have our large engines out here. Something similar to like Star Trek ships, sort of. And we should actually, this is actually one of the first times I've ever had a navigation console for any length of time. So I keep forgetting to steer us back to asteroid fields. And we do, what I'm going to do here actually, is I built a cargo hatch, right? So I'm going to also build another small crate back here in the corner. And I'm going to build down the chair here. And then I could actually build the captain's chair back here. I don't know how that works exactly. But I'm thinking I could build it right up here, because captain's chair like boost morale apparently. Which would be good. Especially since you don't have beds or anything. Although morale usually seems pretty high. Alright, so off to do some more mining here. I think we might want to build some more mining lasers. But I want to get our defenses up in case we get attacked again. I don't want to be a sitting duck and just get killed if the game decides it wants to kill me. Alright, so we'll have I think we have shit. Alright, I think we have enough for one turret. Let's go ahead and throw it down and get our guys working on it. You want to, when you're flying over a star, give a little extra consideration having a firefighting crew going so you don't have your ship burned down on you. Right, there's some more metal, which we need a lot of metal. Our utilities at 2, we're going to utility 3, I believe. For either medium grow beds, or we can go to 2 or 4 for something else useful. Or I think also at 3 we can get the medium storage container. Should be a little more prepared, probably. Right. Bam. Alright. We have enough lasers now to blast this big thing. Alright, so we actually have enough for a second laser turret. So I want these 2 laser turrets. And I think that they generate heat too. Is that 2 heat per shot? But since we're building to be a fairly efficient miner with a lot of heat dissipation, we can also fight pretty well too. If we have to, we just do less mining if we're fighting and mining at the same time. And of course, you also sometimes end up shutting down. Alright, so that's on. I won't have enough power to activate the other one, or CPU mainly. So I'm going to throw some more CPU panels down. And actually, I'm going to throw some hull plates here, and I'm actually going to put some solar panels on those. And I actually should have... no, we have a lot of construction to do, and I'm not worried about the range at the moment, even though I just built that. Especially since we have a nav console, we get unlimited access to asteroid fields, it seems. What I want is more ships, perhaps, to trade with. Once we have... okay, so we have those 2 guns built. Get that guy. What I should be doing maybe is getting defense up. The first thing you get is hull bracing for 2 points. Beyond that, it's like 4 points to build anything. Alright, so this guy is equally armed to us. Our leather laser turret is not active. I'm actually going to go and turn off our mining console. Is it built? Mining console off. Laser turret on. I need another solar panel on here. And then I'm going to grab our shift click both of my laser turrets. I'm going to control one. I want to actually turn on the auto fire and see what it does. Nope. Alright, so they're going to attack us. I'm thinking the best thing would be to maybe shoot out their ship core. They have a ton of power, so we can't really knock out their power. They have a lot of... They're vulnerable to CPU damage, though, so I think I'm going to attack their CPUs. So if I bust out their CPU cores, or CPU arrays, then I'm going to remove this. Take out the... they got people inside, though, so we got a ton of crew members. So the main thing is we're going to be fighting here is this is going to just be a slugging match. I don't think anything's going to come of this, to be honest. Because they should be able to out-repair my damage. I'm thinking I should just attack their weapons and see. Because that'll take them more time to get out there. Also, what I can do here is... what's this guy doing? He's idle. I want you... I'm going to set you to Ops, and he's going to jump on our nav console and increase our evasion to 4. So they'll miss more. So if we can knock out their weapons so they don't do as much damage to us. Because they got a ridiculous amount of power on that ship. You shouldn't probably be building when you're getting attacked because they can like one-shot your components. Yeah, see, it's much easier to destroy their gun than it is to knock out their CPU arrays. Pew pew. Right, so we're doing pretty good. We only got 5 metal, so we can't actually even do a whole lot of expanding. That's 10 now because of that. We have enough for another solar panel. So as soon as this fight is done, go ahead and hit an asteroid fields. Doing pretty good. Doing better than any of my single player games, that's for sure. On Streamline. Alright. So now they're working on that other one. I want to try to pop it before he gets it built. Shouldn't take a lot of hits before it's destroyed. I think they get less people out here to repair. Inside they can get a whole bunch of people, I think, repairing something maybe, but... out here I only sent one dude. He's got a whole new gun already built. Yeah, their combat, at least early game in this game, seems a little weak for the most part because it's a lot of not able to do anything to each other with only a couple of little guns. They don't do much. Yeah, it's supposed to be like FTL, but it's also not it's not as unforgiving, kinda, because it's so easy to repair everything. I think they need to up the damage on these weapons. For sure. Yeah, they probably need to... These are due to 1 damage a hit. They should probably be doing like maybe 5 to actually add some threat to them. Because this is just a little silly. That's why it's not really worth... I'm not even sure if it's worth building these laser turrets at all. Because since he can't really do anything to me, I can't really do anything to him. So I could have just sat here and taken shots from him all day, as opposed to, I'm just gonna set this guy back. Because, yeah, it'd be a lot more interesting if there was more to do like FTL, where you had to kind of time your shots, and each shot was more brutal. Because the 1 damage thing works in FTL when there's only like you have 1 shield or 2 shields, and each hit knocks out a shield kind of thing. But yeah, this is a little silly. Pew pew pew. Pew pew. Yeah, they're just leaving now. Of course, it might be really cool later on when I have a bunch of powerful weapons. So I actually have no idea how to use these guns here. Alright, so turn them off, I think that's how you turn them off. Yeah, okay. X turns them off. X turns them off. Okay, X turns them off, left click sets them to fire again. Alright, so working on our research, we got level 2 utility back. And we can get life support now. I've never done that. It gives us oxygen. We got some mining going here. I'm thinking just fucking ripping those guns out and replacing them with mining for now. Yeah, because these guns are way too weak, so I'm gonna go ahead and take those out, replace them with mining lasers, and then we'll go for more powerful, way more powerful guns like the autocannon and things like that. I got attacked by a guy with an autocannon once. It was pretty cool. There's a lot more, and the plasma cannon's also pretty good. Does a bit of damage there. Where are you? Gotta be a little sparing with your speed up, because I do waste a lot of resources and stuff that way. Alright, so actually I forgot we need to build this solar panel up since he's not shooting us anymore. We're gonna need some more CPU panels. Gotta replace that with the CPU. Right. Alright, so he's got that, so we'll go back to utility and throw down a mining laser here. We have all the components and stuff, so we're doing pretty good on that. So what I do actually want here is heading new job. Joel's deconstructing that gun. So once he's done with that, deconstructing that, I'm gonna actually send him to them. I'm gonna make him military, and then he'll go and hit the mining console. Needs to be turned on. All our other components are on. There's an option to change your component and task limit size. So you can't actually scroll the window in game, but you can set it in your options to show more stuff. So if you want to have a longer component list, you can do that. Boo, 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 boo. Alright, so we're huge on power and CPU, so we can build all kinds of garbage. Let's grab another mining laser. Let's so we got 5 mining lasers. We're able to melt these things like crazy. And then what I'm thinking is another research console, so that while we have the extra time, kind of, we can have one of our other guys, instead of sitting around doing constructing when he's not needed or whatever, I can have 2 researches going on. But I think, since we don't really need the extra storage, it's probably better to get the larger grow bed for food, because we can sell the food if we don't use it. It says that we have a ton of heat sinks, so we're good on, even next to a star, it looks like we can do a lot of mining. And with the mining console, we got a lot of range, so we're gonna have a lot of resources here. We're about to fill up both of our little small crates though, so we're gonna need to start taking some guys off of other tasks and get some resources spent. So okay, so we got 5 of these. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make us real quick and fast here. I'm going to throw down some more hull. And then we're going to get our second engine built, so that no one can touch us. And we have our jump. You are that. I'm going to make you clean the ship real quick. And I'm going to actually set course to ship signature and see how that works. And then what we're going to go for is, I think we'll go for the chain gun. The plasma turret, they're not hostile. So I can buy silicon. I need to sell stuff though. The other thing you can do with your weapons is threaten them, but I don't think they're going to get threatened by us, so I'm not going to, since I tore down our guns. So let's go ahead and set course to an asteroid field. And then we'll get another medium engine built here. Oh, you can, oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Because it's weird, I was explaining earlier how these things place funky. Like you can place them inside. Like you can have floor plates where that CPU panel is right here, and have access to the back of the engine from inside, which might be kind of cool look. But you also need these surface areas, so. But you also can't build around the thing. So if I wanted to, if I built these ones, they're just like free hanging. So I guess if I built it down twice, I could put it inside of all the blocks. But it's kind of a waste when you think about it, because you could be building solar panels on those. Of course, once later on the game, when you have plenty of resources, you don't need all that extra space to actually be used. You can build some cool looking things aesthetically. Alright, so we got our 5 mining lasers, we have 8 heat sinks. And there's our 2 engines enabled, and we have them all powered, and we still have a decent amount of power and CPU. We've got our 3 utility. That snuck up on me. I'm gonna go for defense. I'm gonna go for weapons, I think, because our defenses are gonna be hull plate, hull brace. Hull brace uses nothing but metal. I'm actually gonna go to defense. We'll get hull braces first, because you can brace basically all your floor tiles you walk on. So your ship will be a lot tougher. And then after that, we'll go for weapons, and we'll get some really cool weapons, and we'll start fighting people, blowing them to shit. Right. All right. So we need to keep our guys. We're busy though. So what I need to do is make you an engineer also. And what we're going to do here is we need room for our bigger grow bed, and we're going to need like an actual mess hall. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually expand the front of our ship like this, and then I actually think I'm only going to do it this wide. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to have a long hallway, and then there's going to be a 3 wide thing in the hallway, and then you'll have the consoles on the side facing kind of like these ones, and you'll walk up and you'll kind of jump in your console, and at the front there'll be the bridge up here. And then, of course, this will be the engine room. And then out here, probably we'll have like a mess hall. And then over here, maybe we'll have dorms or something like that. But until we can build that big, I'm going to build this out, and I'm going to move all of these consoles up front. So we'll stick them like right here. And then once these are out, I can put our medium grow bed over on this side, and we can widen this out a bit. So we'll go ahead and get those constructed. The other things we have to do is remove these. Can I actually? I've never tried. No, it has to be a full. I hate when those starting curved blocks, because you got to rip them out and then rebuild hull, and then floor over the hull if you want floor there. So it's kind of annoying, the construction process in this game. It takes a long time. That's kind of like the whole point of the game, is building your ship. So I got you just in time. Oh, and it sent a rock right at me. All right. Let's get all this metal. We're actually almost out of storage space. So what we need to do is build another small crate. I'm going to throw it right there, and I'm going to throw it to the top of the build queue. So he should run inside the ship and build that real quick, so that we can actually loot all this stuff we're about to get. Bam. 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 Bam! A lot of metal. We're about to have to jettison cargo, though. Can only get 3 more. 2 more. Alright. Our cargo's basically full. Okay, that'll be done just in time. Let's go ahead and rip apart some rocks, though. Oh, really? You gotta fall asleep? What an asshole. Yeah, so get your, God damn it. Would you build this thing already? Alright, got it. That's obnoxious. Yeah, so make sure you have the extra cargo hold space. Because I'm not building anywhere near quickly enough. I might take my research person off here in a minute. I'm actually going to take my... Where are you? Who's researching? I want to make you an engineer for now as well. Actually, here, you be an engineer and you be science. You should be working on the grow room first. I'm going to actually shut down the power off. So you get some plants for me. We're going to go to a ship signature and see if we can trade. Hopefully we don't get attacked. If we do, we'll just jump out, depending on what their offensive capabilities are. Yeah, I don't know how to deal with those weapons, because how do you deter somebody with pea shooters like that? Those are one of the weakest weapons I've ever seen in a game. It's pretty sad. I have to build a bunch, but they're kind of like, that's fine if they're that weak, but they need to be cheaper. That's way too expensive for what, because I could build like 4 and I still don't feel like I'd be accomplishing anything. Basic shield damage, hull damage, crew damage, heat. The plasma turret does 3 damage. They're powering up their weapons. Awesome. But they also have good weapons here. That's a that's a chain gun? No, that's plasma turret. That's a plasma turret, which is very powerful. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hit code blue. We're gonna get our dudes back inside the ship, and then we're gonna jump. All right, everyone's inside, so we're jump. All right, so turn off code blue. And let's go ahead and hit to an asteroid field. Alright, so I guess we're too close to an asteroid field. So it won't let us go to another one. Yeah, I don't know how, because even if I had my 2 guns, I would not have been able to handle that guy either, because his guns are way 6 fucking tech points up. So let's go ahead and power you back on. And make you science. Let's get our research done. Let's get another hull plate here. Got plenty. Alright, can I get to another asteroid field yet? Nope. Are we actually heading to one? Or did we leave one? Is my question. Alright, so what we're going to do is some floors here. So we'll move our nav console in here and our mining console in here, or vice versa, or whatever. And then we'll have to move this mining laser. We'll go for 6 lasers here. So we'll go utility, mining laser. Throw 2 mining lasers here. We'll rip out that mining laser, and we'll floor this. Once that's gone, we can floor that. Let's go ahead and throw an extra heat vent here. Another CPU panel here, and we might need more power. We have plenty of resources now. The main problem we're going to have is food. I got the medium grow bed. Problem is I don't actually have interior space in the ship right now. So once we get these consoles moved, so we'll go ahead and ops. We'll build another nav console in here. And we gotta floor this. Alright, so there's 6 mining lasers now. And we'll want ops. We want a mining console up here. So once those are all built, we can put our medium grow bed in here. I'll probably just put it right. I'll put it here and see where they normal. I think if I can put another storage crate there if I need to, and then she can water it from here. Furniture, chairs. Chairs are cheap, so I like to build them. I'm thinking too, you could build a door here. But I'm just gonna leave it open. And pretend that's glass. That'd be kind of cool if you. I assume he's gonna do all that stuff eventually. We have no food, but I have a grow bed person going, so we're okay. What are you doing? Why are you idle? Can you not get there? That's odd. Okay, well, why are you not building these things? Can you only have one you might only be able to have one of these consoles at a time, so I'm going to rip these up. And we'll move them after that. So furniture, operations console, so on nav. I'm already going. I kind of wish there was a speed 3 or 4 though.